Welcome, all you icons, to the IndiePod Daily Show, where we talk podcasting day after 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 day. Yeah, I'm not even saying day anymore. How are you all doing out there, wherever you're listening to, and whatever you're up to? Please throw it in the chat. We want to see where you're listening from, watching from, what you got going on in your world today. I'll tell you what I got going on in my world today is I have been running. I haven't been posting about it, but I have been running at least like the last 5, 6, 7 days. So I'm feeling great. I'm feeling like I'm getting back on track. Finally, it's taken forever to finally feel like I'm getting back on track, and we'll get there literally step by step is the goal. Today we're talking about managing your podcast's social media accounts and gaining new subscribers, and figuring out how to funnel them back to where you're going to get the most out of them, which is hopefully a subscribe button. But before we get into all that, I gotta remind everybody that September 12th and 13th is coming up very quickly, very, very quickly, actually. What do we have? This is almost the last week of August, technically the full last week of August, and we are rapidly getting close to Icon 6 live virtual conference. It's the 80s. We're going to be having so much fun. We have over 30 speakers that will be in attendance, speaking, networking, doing the workshops with you. I'm looking forward. Hey, Sonia, how are you? Good to see you. It's been a long, long time since I've seen you pop in the chat there. Hope you've been well. Yeah, so we're going to have an after party afterwards, workshops all day, the speakers. So you get dressed up in your favorite 80s attire and bring the any 80s related stuff that you got, and we're gonna have trivia, and we'll have stickers to give away throughout the event. I'll be mailing out these stickers to people who get the questions right. It's taking place in a Zoom room, so we'll be able to see each other face to face, and we'll be able to do those workshops to team people up. And at lunchtime we'll do we'll have lunch. We'll have lunch together in the room. So anybody that wants to chat and have open forum conversation and things like that, we might break it down into smaller rooms so people are going to have their own little table conversations going on. But it's as if you were there live here in South Jersey, a little bit down the street from my house, right outside of good old Philadelphia. So it's going to be a great time. And don't forget that this episode is brought to you by the IndiePod University, also known as Icon U. It's where you will learn to launch, grow, and monetize your podcast alongside me and all of the other members of our IndiePod University community. So you get access to resources, video resources, weekly group coaching calls, and all of that. So if you're in the market for finding the community that's going to help accelerate your growth, your business growth for your podcast, then this is the place for you to be, is the IndiePod University. And this was probably the last week I will ask for a free for you to subscribe to the Indie Podcasters YouTube channel. Go to indiepodcasters.com/tube. We have, I think, 36 last I checked subscribers currently. And with that said, if you subscribe and it's made public, we can we'll be picking one subscriber to send for a free ride for 1 month into the IndiePod University. So we'll do that tomorrow on Free Ride Friday. After I think starting this Friday, we might move to Instagram because I got some things coming down the pike here. So he says, "Yep, I made a Baba milk drink vendor for online delivery." I'm not sure what is a Baba milk. I'll have to Google this. Let's see. Well, it's a perfect time for me to share my screen and drop it out. Maybe I'll have to Google that a little bit later. because right now I need to bring in our guest, because this is Training Thursday, where we do a free coaching session with me for an hour, and we help move the needle on your podcast, on your business. So right now I gotta welcome our icon, Charlie Cornacchio. Did I get it right? Cornacchio?
You got it right.
Woo! Awesome. How are we doing today, sir?
I'm doing great. How are
Great.
you?
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. I'm doing great too. My shins are hurting a little bit. It's because I've been so out of practice, but it's all good, man. Getting 4 1/3 miles in today was felt good. Felt real
Nice,
good.
nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Good for
So
you.
how long have you been podcasting for, Charlie?
I started in May of this year.
Congratulations.
Yeah. It was one of those things that I wanted to do for a while. I had, I'll just tell you really quickly a
Yeah.
little bit of my background. I had a TV news background, and I had my own news outlet for about 5 years, um, which covered the area that I lived in, 5 counties of the area that I lived in, and it was local news, but it was very video centric because that's really what I came from was TV broadcasting.
Hmm.
And then as I was kind of winding down and getting into like a retirement age, which I thought was really interesting because yesterday it was you're never too old to podcast, and and
Ah.
I got about 6 years on Ken, so I always thought in my head, podcast would be pretty cool to do, and so I knew I had all the equipment, I had the lighting, I had the camera, I had the audio equipment, and so I just got around to it, but I was struggling with what do I have to bring? I started off as a TV sportscaster.
Oh, cool.
So, but I've been out of sports for so long that I don't really know the ins and outs. And I would just be getting stuff from the media. I wouldn't really be in the locker rooms. So, what could I offer there? And then I have a cool story about an adoption. I was adopted. I found my birth mother in the weirdest of
Wow.
circumstances.
That is.
And
Wait,
I,
how
and I
weird?
thought,
How
all right,
weird? Like you happen to be in the grocery store and you're like, you look a lot like me.
no, I was on TV,
Oh.
and one of my brothers knew that when my birth mother was pregnant, she went away into the hospital for like 4 months and then never came home with the baby. He's about 5 years older than me, but he always remembers that.
Wow.
And he remembers his mom saying, I'm going to look for him. I'm going to try and find him. And so when he saw me on TV, because he lived in the area, and he saw me on TV and he's like, this guy looks just like my brother Robert. And his brother Robert and myself are just a year apart. Turns out my birth mother was having an affair. Her husband found out about it and said, either you get rid of that kid or I'm taking the 3 boys that she had at the time and leaving you out on the street. And
Oh
this was,
man.
1954. It's a whole
Right.
different world for women
It was
back
a whole
then.
different world for everybody back then.
Oh, I know. Yeah, last week was a different
Yeah.
world. But anyway, so yeah, so she gave me up for adoption. Here I am on TV. This guy says, you know, you look a lot like my brother. I asked him what his name was. His name is Michael Cosentino. I know from my birth certificate, my adopted parents showed me my birth certificate when I was 8, and my name was Paul Henry Cosentino. And I got chills. I was like, wait a second, that's the same last name. And then, through a series of questions and answers and whatever else, we realized that I was the guy. I was the kid who she gave up. And so
Oh.
we arranged a meeting, and I met my birth mother and then met my brothers. I had 4 brothers I never knew I had. I wrote a book about it. And I, I've been, we've been, my family, their family have been friends ever since. My birth mom has since passed,
Mm.
but we're still together with the brothers and the kids, and my nieces and nephews play with or get together with my kids, and so it's a happy reunion, which sometimes they're not happy,
Yeah.
because the parents don't want anything to do with the kid when they're found. But this was a good one, and it was like I said, strange circumstances. That how it happened. People spend thousands of dollars doing investigations and looking for. This was before DNA, and here I was. I wasn't even really looking for it. Always wondering in my mind, where are they? Who are they? What were they like? What what things do I have in me DNA wise? And there it was. It just like fell right at my doorstep. So pretty
Wow.
interesting
No, that
stuff.
that is, how
Yeah.
many years ago was that you?
Oh, that was 1992.
Wow. Wow.
Yes, I was 30. I was 30. There was 38 at the time,
Mm.
so I'd gone 38 years of always wondering,
Wow.
what my background was. You go to the doctor, and the history of this in your
Yeah.
family or that in your family. I don't
Yeah.
know. And then all of a sudden, in one shake, I had a whole history behind me. where before my history stopped right there. And now I had this whole history behind me. Found out about my birth father. Music always came easy for me, and no one else in my adopted family did it come easy for. And I found out that my birth father played guitar and sang, and that's what I did. So
Wow.
pretty interesting stuff. Yeah.
That
So
is
anyway,
that is that is awesome. And Sonia says, "What a story, Charlie. Thanks for sharing."
yeah.
And she asks,
Thanks, Anita.
she says, "What's your relationship to Pinocchio?"
Well, we both lie a little bit, but my nose never grows.
Oh, you
So
got the good
that's
genes then. Oh man.
But anyway, so I was thinking, maybe I do a one on adoption and talk to people who are
Hmm.
adopted. And I found it so hard to find people who want to talk about their adoption because, sometimes it's personal, it doesn't go well. And so then I just said, you know what? I know enough people, I've interviewed enough people over my TV career. Why don't I just do a podcast where the experts are the stars of the show? When I used to do interviews on TV, that's the way I always looked at it. Was I was the conduit, and the expert was the star of that show.
Hmm.
So even if my name was attached to it, that's the way I approached it. And so I thought, well, you know what? I'm in retirement. It'll keep my interviewing skills up, and it will also get some good information out there. So that's why I did it. And then here I am, starting in May, and went through 15 episodes so far.
That's
So
awesome. Keep it up. Keep it up. So,
yeah.
what in your application to be here today, you put down that you were looking to get more out of your social media, or at least handle your social media better. So, like, are you looking for like tools or hacks, or what do you what would be the best way to help you over the next 45 to 60 minutes?
All right. Well, here's my dilemma. And social media, I'm fine with. I've got it down. I've had it down. Since I had the online presence with the news application. The problem I'm having is that when I had my news organization on Facebook, I built up 16,000 followers, and on YouTube, I built up 2,300 or so followers and or subscribers. And so I tried to use them because I didn't want to lose them. That's valuable stuff. And so I tried to use that and parlay that into what I'm doing now. But what I'm finding is that I just created my own, just saying podcast with Charlie Carnaccio on YouTube, and, keep asking for subscribers. And I have 11. But when I go to my hvnn.com account on YouTube, I've gained like 36 subscribers in the last 30 days. Now, other than, the stuff we were doing news wise, that hasn't happened since 2019 when I kind of shut it down, retired. So I'm guessing that those subscribers are going to the other channel. And so that's one part of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
The other part of the problem is I'm trying to get those subscribers or followers on Facebook to follow me on my Just Saying channel. You
So
know,
tell me
and
what the difference between the HVNN and Just Saying is.
the difference is that HVNN was a local product, local news and information for a specific area of the Hudson Valley of New York, which was like Westchester County, Dutchess County, Putnam County, um, Orange County, you know, uh, those areas, and and it was specific to a just an area. And I really wanted Just Saying or the podcast to be more national, have more of a national attraction. And so while I might still dip into my network of people that I know who are experts in certain fields,
Hmm.
their application applies to everyone. So, like the very first one I did was with a person who runs a PR and communications company called Philomena Finelli PR, Impact PR and Communications. And the topic was how best to approach PR and communications during COVID. When is it too soon? to be promoting yourself when there's this pandemic going on and everybody's shut down? And what do you say in those to keep yourself relevant? And so that was a national thing. I've interviewed authors who are have a national message, and so I try and twist it to something national, and that's the difference between Just Saying and HVNN. The conduit, the similarity between both is I have a huge presence on HVNN, and it's me on Just Saying.
So I'm going through, and I mean, it sounds like Just Saying is trying to hit a whole wide range of target markets, right? And like that's hard to do, right? Because if you get somebody that's hooked that comes to one episode, right, and they're like, oh, I am really interested in helping children with dyslexia, but then the next episode is talking about like the Yankee song and adoptions and reunions, like,
right,
I might not be that right person, right? So, and the way that like variety shows can get that hook is because of the host, right? So the host has to be like, you're going to be interested in every episode because I'm here, but it's a really long game that you're playing, right? And I know the game personally because I did it with the Dreamers podcast. I had literally people from all walks of life, businesses, niches, industries, all coming together to learn from each other. And even that was hard because people are like, they're so stuck in like, I want to learn from the people that are better at me in that thing that I'm interested in learning more about, right? Whether it's their business that they're in, our industry, or something to that effect. Like, and even when you inject personality to it, if you look at like some of the the most popular YouTube channels out there, right, or the rising ones where they're like, hey, I'm doing the vlog thing, but they're still teaching you something, right? Like you look at like a Peter McKinnon, like he did taught Photoshop and video, Adobe Premiere tips for years, like every 2 or 3 times a week. So he was building that audience of people who came for the lessons in that specific thing, that specific narrow niche of creatives, at least at the very broadest, the piece of it. And then they stuck around because they liked his personality and they liked what he was doing, and oh wow, look, he's going on all these crazy trips, and he's staying in the Ice Hotel, which is literally a hotel made out of ice. The bed, everything's ice. Things like that.
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
But I'm
yeah,
fun.
right. I got that. Where is it? I know I have it somewhere. Man, is it? There we go. There's that one. I should have put drums there. I have like a gesture on there. So it's been a while since I've used that one. So anyway, my point being is that it's not that you can't build that audience over time. But it takes so much longer, and the easiest way to do it is still to focus in on a specific target of people that are going to be really interested in those topics, right? So, maybe it's you start with like the adoption aspect of it, but then once you establish a big enough base that's going to keep coming back, regardless if you were talking about helping children with dyslexia or teaching your kid how to hit better at baseball, like that. Like that's the thing, right? So if you're trying to target parents, maybe foster parents, I meant to give a shout out earlier. I don't know if you've seen Ambition the Poet speak at one of the virtual conferences that we hosted. He speaks for foster kids. Like that's his whole thing. He's a poet. He speaks for foster kids, and he spoke at conferences, not just IndiePod, but other ones that are around adoption and foster foster services and such like that. So I gotta hook you up with him. He's great to have. But I think if you really want that, if you're feeling it in your heart that like, hey, I should make things for the parents of those adopted parents, like I think that's awesome. I think that's awesome. And then I think once you build that base of, providing the resources, like, so that they have a reason to keep coming back because they're learning more and more about how to deal with with the kids, or how to deal with the adoption services, or how to deal with the foster services, or how to deal with any of that stuff, dealing with a school when you might never have had a kid before. I mean, I watched that. Do you watch that documentary? Was it Dads? It just came out
No.
last year. It was made by Ron Howard's daughter. I mean, I cried the whole. I literally cried the whole time. It has a bunch of celebrities in it, but the celebrities are just kind of like telling their stories. And I was at Jimmy Kimmel, and it's Ron Howard and Will Smith, but the stories that they're telling in it are like people who, a lot of them are like podcasters or bloggers or something to that effect, where they made their voice matter. So she took all this and put it into a really awesome thing. And one of the stories was two gay dads adopted four kids down in Maryland. Like, they went from having 0 kids to having 4 kids, and then they bought a farm so they could go and live, because all 4 of the kids, they are all different ages, had all kinds of different traumas in their lives, and so they bought this farm because they're like, oh well, it's supposed to be healing horses and the farm life and stuff, and it's just so it's crazy, like, how that's a thing, right? Like, you could literally go from having no kids to having kids ranging from like 4 all the way to like 12 and because you don't want to split them up. They didn't want to split them up,
Right.
so
Yeah.
I think it's incredibly powerful what you think, what you have in your in your back pocket with the powerful story to tell, that I think if you at that point, I might consider changing the name, from Just Saying to something that's a little more targeted to those parents, that audience. And then, like I said, once you get them there, like, you could bring in other guest experts, right? But talking about having a PR communications person to helping dyslexic children, it's going to be hard. It's not that you can't build an audience. You absolutely can, and I commend anybody who does that. But to even look at, like, oh well, Joe Rogan has, like, Bill Gates on the show, and then he'll have what's the dude that smashes the watermelons, like the orange hair dude?
Oh,
yeah,
Gallagher?
Gallagher on the show. Like how do you make that? How do you get that? How do you make that, like, transition? It's like, yeah, well, because he spent like 20 plus years, building a reputation, building a big enough fan base of people that actually know who he is, that want to come for him, right? Regardless of who the guest is, and they're going to talk about cool stuff every single time anyway.
Right.
So Sonia says, do we find our audience, or our audience finds us? And it can work where your audience finds you, but it helps a lot if they know what they're going to get out of that specific piece, right? They know what to expect out of it. And it's also, like, one of the reasons why, like, when you look at, if you look at, like, I always use this example of building the rocket versus hooking your rocket, your rocket to go up into space, right? Versus, like, having your rocket hook onto a star that's already shooting across, or another rocket that's already shooting across the sky, and then using that star power to carry you, right? So example of that would be like, I'm going to start a Disney podcast. Well, everybody knows what Disney is. Well, yeah, because they spend tons of money to make everybody know what Disney is, and they may have legendary stories and things of that nature. So, and legendary service and legendary all these other things. So you're just hooking your rocket up to that star, and boom, like, now you're flying. But then you have to inject your personality that much more into it, because there's literally tens of thousands of podcasts related to Disney, right? So, and there's somebody that's going to find you based on your take on things, how you set it up, how you get people talking about a topic and bring things to light. So it's not impossible to take somebody else's star power and use it. Like, a great example is that a very good friend of mine, Dr. Jeffrey Barnes, wrote he has a class on Disneyland. People consider him Dr. Disneyland, and he wrote a book called The Wisdom of Walt. And prior to that, like, no one would have known him or any of his stories, but he weaved his stories in with Disney stories as a motivational and as a leadership book. And bam, all of a sudden he's getting booked for like 20 grand to speak, right? Like he's doing all these things. It's like, he didn't make Disney World, he didn't make Disneyland. But he took the star power, he injected his own storytelling into it, and then all of a sudden, bam, like people like, I like Disney. Hey, I like stories. I like leadership. Oh, I'm looking for those books, and bam, like now we're off to the races, right? So I think that you're definitely on the right path with what you were saying. That's what's in your heart and what you're looking, and you're going to get so much more traction out of the gate. Like, because people are going to say, you always want to move the needle, right? If hear your stuff and they say, I don't know, well, then that's a decision, right? And that means they didn't say yes, they didn't say no. But if you move the needle and say, hey, this is the adoption parents are us podcast, all of a sudden they're gonna say, oh, I'm not interested in that, or I am interested in that because I am, or I'm from an adopted family and I want to get into that world, right? I want to adopt kids of my own. In fact, me and my wife have talked about adopting kids at some point when our kids are a little bit older. So when they get maybe 6, 7, 8 years old, maybe we'll take on an adopted kid or two. Like, it's something we're interested in. So you know what I mean? Like, all of a sudden, like, I'm going to keep that in the back of my mind, because as I get closer to those years, I'm going to need resources, right? I'm going to need to know, like, what I don't know, because just being a parent isn't enough. Like,
yeah. So you're saying that it really is important, as much as people like myself try and steer clear of it. It really is more important to have a niche. And I've heard that you got to have a niche, and that's one of the reasons I put off starting a podcast, because I didn't know what my niche would be. But as you're talking, I'm thinking about it, and one of the things I realized was, the biggest views that I got, the most views that I got on any of the podcasts that I did.
What's that?
You know which one it was? It was adoption. 27,000 views, I think, or something like that.
I'm gonna break the bell here. That's awesome. Congratulations.
Some of them have like 19 views, or 100 and something views, because that person has a following, which I try to take into consideration. But I think that 27,000 tells you something.
Yeah, you think? Yeah, and sometimes we get in our own way, right? Look, I'm totally guilty of this, getting in my own way. Like with my show, the Super Joe Pardo Show, and I wanting to produce content for that. But right now, like, that's not where all of my business focus really needs to be. It's right here on the Indie Pod, because we're growing so rapidly, organically. I'm literally spending $0 on marketing this beast that's growing out of the ground. And I need to spend time where my people are, right? And where I feel the most comfortable, right? Where I feel most comfortable is, hey, I'm rocking a t-shirt, right? I'm talking to awesome people like you. We're making an impact in the world. We're figuring it out as we go. Those are the things that while I love helping people with their business and solve really difficult technical problems and stuff like that, what I really also love is helping people solve not so technical problems, work through the things, get creative, and do it in a way where I don't have to wear a suit and a tie to make somebody else feel good about me. Right? So as much as like I love helping people with their businesses, it's to a certain extent, like, this is where I need to be right now. I mean, literally, this is what I was thinking about while I was running this morning, right? That's where I meditate, is out there. So there you go. Ken, what's up, Ken? How you doing? Thank you for being on the show yesterday. He said put that title.
Yeah, that was good.
Put that in your title somehow. Adoption.
Good.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And he says plant seeds, make statements, post where your audience lives. One thing I was looking at, because I'm looking at trying to get better at copywriting, because that's, while I know how to write long posts and long form and stuff like that, sales copy has not been something that I've always had to do. So I'm watching some videos, and you know what? One of the tips was, go to Reddit. And just read, find a subreddit for the thing that you're interested in, excuse me, and then just look up to see what they are saying, how they're saying it, what words they're saying, and basically just copy and paste those words so that your target audience is speaking to you, and they don't even realize it. Yeah, right. Like, oh man, like I need an explosion. I guess like just smash the glass on that, right? So, it's little things like that. So, yeah, I think the universe is speaking to you, Charlie. I think heading down that adoption path, I think is going to be powerful. You have the story, you've lived it, and you have a happy ending with it, right? Like as happy as I guess you could possibly get for the most part, compared to most people that live that life, that live that track, right?
And maybe it'll sell more books.
Well, yeah. I mean, what's your book? Your book is about.
My book is called How I Met My Mother and the Four Brothers I Never Knew I Had.
Dude, you just wrote how to sell 10,000 more books, right? Like by having that like seriously, you just had how many people that watched that episode? You said 20, was it 10? 27,000. Think about it. It's just like 5% of those buy the book, right? Because you promote the book at the end of each episode. Let's see, 27,000 minus 5%. That's 1,350 books. 1,350 books times, we'll say $9.99. That's $13,486 that you'd have in your pocket without even trying.
Wow.
And that's just 5%. That's just right. That's just 5. Was that 5%? I think that was 5%. Yeah, 5%. That's just 5% of those views.
Yeah, right.
It's targeted, and you're there. Like secret title generator. Yes, everybody loves Happy, especially now. Yeah, well, and everybody should love Happy.
That's true,
right?
Yeah, that's true.
Ding ding for that, because there is so much. I personally have gone through going back and forth about whether or not COVID has been a good experience for me and my family, and I think overall it really actually has been a blessing in many ways. We've gotten to spend more time together. My son actually knows who I am and talks, and comes to give me hugs in the morning now, versus me leaving prior to him, waking up and stuff like that. So to me, it's been let me tell kind of a blessing.
Let me tell you about COVID for me, because that's how I started the podcast. Because, we couldn't get together as a family. We have family all over the country. And so one of the sister-in-laws said, why don't we do like a Zoom call on Sundays at 4:30? We're like, yeah, okay, let's do that. So we did the first one, and, we did it in our kitchen, and the lighting wasn't great. I just put the laptop up, and I was just like, wow. And then I saw that you could record your Zoom call. I was like, wait a second, I can record the whole thing and then take it into editing and dress it up or whatever. And then I started doing research, like that's where I found Joe Rogan and whatever else. And I said, that's what I can do. That was all because of COVID. I would not have really probably still wouldn't be doing a podcast if it wasn't for that. So if you're looking for like silver linings, for me, that's probably the silver lining.
I wouldn't have been able to take this to the level that we're at now and continuing to grow with the indie pod community, right? We were growing prior to COVID, but thanks to COVID, we were, I was able to jump into action, put together virtual conferences, and then bam, 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 we just continued to compound the amount of people that wanted to get involved and be on the indie pod train, right? So
when I signed up for the indie podcast community, I think you had 1,100 members, or something like that.
Yeah,
and that was a few months ago. Now you're up to
1850, almost 1850. Yeah. Yeah,
pretty awesome.
It is awesome, and just to give, and I've shown this before, but just to give like clarification to what that looks like when we're talking about, like, here's just the last 60 days, right? We're at 1,600 just 60 days ago, and we're at 1846 right now, right? So if I go back, you go back to, like, I always love looking at this, like September to now. Wait a second. September. Let's have a quicker way to do this. September to now. Like, bam, right? We were at 426 September 3rd, September 1st.
Wow.
Right? And we have just rocketed, and in large part because of COVID, right? We had these people who wanted to get involved. And I was like, hey, let's put a conference together, right? And I can totally do this. Like I've done tons of virtual events over the years. So we did it, and then we did it again, and we did it again, and we did it again, and did it again, and now we have our private, our annual event is coming up this week, which or not this week, September 12th and 13th. It's scrolling down below. Tickets are on sale now. It's only $99 for a 2-day event, 30 plus speakers, workshops, and there's going to be some giveaways and things. So it's going to be an awful lot of fun things going on. And here's the thing, right? I didn't change really anything about the branding except for we made the change right here back at the back in September at the last event. We made the change from Mid-Atlantic Podcast Conference to Independent Podcast Conference. And all of a sudden more people said, "Oh, that I relate to that," instead of I don't live in the Mid-Atlantic.
Right.
And we weren't
that's why-
Mid-Atlantic. That was the thing. Like we had
And that's how-
worldwide people already. Like it wasn't even Mid-Atlantic. This is where the event
But
was
that's
held.
how I found you.
Oh.
When I first started, a friend of mine who was doing a podcast said, there's conventions. I just got back from one in Orlando, and I was like, well, yeah, I can't go to Orlando, but let me check online and see what's around. So I moved from New York to Pennsylvania in October of last year, Kennett Square.
That's awesome.
And so I get on and I'm looking around for conferences, and I saw the conference, which I think was supposed to be on the 25th or 26th, and I saw Mid-Atlantic, and I was like, well, wait, where's that? And maybe that's some place I could drive to. And then when I saw Swedesboro, I was like, New Jersey, I was just like, I could go there, come home, sleep in my own bed, then go back again. That's awesome. Let me do that. And then I started following you and, getting your daily updates, and it's awesome.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
I learn so much every day that I'm on and I'm listening. And when you have the groups and the different speakers speaking, I pick up something every day, which is really good to be a sponge like that, for somebody who's new at it.
Yeah.
To get all this experience from these experts is really pretty cool.
It is. And that's why, at the end of last year, I wanted to go and do a virtual conference, and my team was like, well, why don't you just worry about September? Like, let's promote towards September. And then sure enough, hey, the universe always provides. COVID hit, and it was like, oh, well, I'm home now because I'm not going anywhere else. So let's dive in and make this happen. And 10 days later we had the first virtual conference, and that had a huge impact on the growth of the community. So well, first of all, I'm super grateful. I'm grateful that somebody mentioned, the conference to you, and then somebody mentioned, you go and find the Mid-Atlantic and because it's, however, whatever the name was, but more people identify with it. So, and it just goes to show you exactly what we've been talking about, right, for the last half hour, is that your name, so much can be in just one word. So this growth has happened, and I haven't even started to really hone in the messaging for who Indie PodCon is for, right? Which is realistically is for entrepreneurs. We've gotten both entrepreneurs and creatives, which is awesome. I'm grateful for all of the people that are here. But I think when I start to change some of the messaging over the next week or two, and focusing them towards entrepreneurs and creatives, I think we'll start to get a lot more people on board with the indie train. So I'm really excited about the next couple of weeks here leading up to the conference and even after the conference, because we'll be doing more free virtual conferences in the future. They'll be like this, where it's streamed into the Facebook group. But right now, it's all about Icon 6 and making that the best event that we possibly, I possibly can as a virtual experience. So.
All right, so let's go back to because this is about me.
It is
not you.
Yeah.
I kid, because I owe a lot to you for where I've gotten to so far. But let's go back to all of those followers that I have on Facebook and YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I guess if I'm going to, and I'm seriously now considering that I've got this gem of a story that is unique and universal. In adoption, my adoption story, and other people who might be able to tell stories. If I was to change that, do I just forget about the 16,000 and the 2,300, or is there a way? Is there a unique way to try and bring them over?
I would try to bring some of them over. I mean, obviously, you're gonna probably have a very low percentage that are gonna hit that mark, because it's such a
Yeah.
niche. But don't feel bad about that, right? It's look, you're giving up 16,000 followers for something that out of your YouTube channel has 27,000 views.
Right.
And if you make that whole channel based around that, now they're gonna say, oh, I watched the 20, I watched that video, it has 27,000 views. Oh, what's this other video? I identify with that one, and I identify with that one, and I identify. And then all of a sudden, you're gonna hit that monetization button before you know it, and you'll be monetized on YouTube because I mean, that's an incredible amount of views out of the gate, especially when you
Yeah.
only have one video that's hitting that when all the other ones are effectively duds, right? So, and it's not
Right.
duds; it's just they're not. They're just not resonating with the people that you're hitting up. So what I would
Yeah.
do is I would try to come up with a handful of ways that you can market it to them. Do you have an email list with any of those followers on it, or just the?
I don't think I do.
Okay,
You
so
know? Yeah.
maybe shoot a short video, throw it to HVNN. I wouldn't put too much effort behind it. I would just do a couple of posts, through to the 16,000. Try see who happens to catch it. Maybe like one or two a week, mentioning that, hey, we had this new episode coming out. Use it as like, hey, like also go check us out here, and this is all about adoption. Again, you might only get 1 or 2% of those people. But the thing is those people that are following you, that are really like paying close attention, are gonna love you, because now you're hitting a thing that they're interested in, right? And they're
Yeah.
gonna get
Yeah.
they're gonna get that hit over and over and over again, because you're gonna be talking about the same circle of things that relate to adoption, that are to that whole world. So those
Yeah.
people are going to be like they very rapidly will turn into your super fans, because they were already following you before, and now they're like, I love what he's doing. I love what Charlie's doing. I want more of that.
Well, I started to actually produce a video I was going to put on the HVNN site, just saying, hey, everybody. And I was trying to do it in a creative way where I had a box of like computer stuff, and I was walking out of the house and got into the car. And it was all about, hey, I'm moving. I'm moving from HVNN to Just Saying, come on along with me. Something a little creative like that. But I think, probably an announcement video once I get this thing squared up and I know exactly what I'm doing, the name of it and the location. An announcement video might be good to do because that's kind of in my
How
wheelhouse.
many views
You know.
does HVNN stuff get generally?
Well, when we were at our height, we were about 550,000 views a month. For stories that we did.
Yeah. So that's, I mean,
Yeah.
so
So
okay, so there's
we had a
still,
we had a big
yeah.
audience.
So I mean,
Yeah,
that's
we had a big audience.
definitely, yeah, because I know subscribers doesn't necessarily equate to how many people are actually viewing the stuff. Obviously, because you have a
Right.
YouTube video
Yeah.
that has 27,000 views, but you said you only have a
Yeah.
handful of subscribers.
Yeah. We were counting unique
Hmm.
visitors through Google Analytics, and I think that the attraction was back then. The reason that I started that channel and that network was because in our area there was a lack of local coverage. The newspapers were trying to cut their costs by incorporating like USA Today into their paper, and so it would be 4 or 5 sections of national news and one local section. And then on top of that, nobody in our area was doing video
Mm.
stories. And so we would write the story and then pop the video in there as well. And video drives the bus.
Yeah.
When you put a video up, especially back then in 2013 when we started, it was, very attractive. And so we were able to get sponsorship, pretty high level sponsors and do all that thing. But then, after a while, they caught up, which I was fine with. My whole thing was I want to change the culture. I want to change the landscape. I want to push the envelope. And I did because they were all trying to keep up with us. These are, big newspapers that have been around for like hundreds of years.
Right.
And they were starting to get into the technology and hiring young kids out of college who knew that stuff, that technology to be able to do and compete with what we were doing. So I think that I achieved what I wanted to achieve in some aspects, but
Yeah.
um, you know, so that's a lot of food for thought. The other thing I did was just really quickly, I'll tell you, I made season one because I had a couple of video projects that I picked up in New York. I still do some video work, and I have some clients who call me from time to time. And I knew that I was going to have to get these videos done in the next 2 weeks. And to try and do these videos and also do podcasts and edit those, it was like, just going to be crazy trying to manage everything.
Yeah.
So I decided, well, you know what? I've been watching a lot of Netflix with COVID, and they'll have like 10 episodes a season or 12 episodes a season. I have 14 episodes. Well, that's the end. That's season one. Hey, everybody. So episode 15 was a recap with little snippets from each episode, and that was my season one to give me a little bit of a breather so I can get these other videos done, and then hop on to season two. So what I might do, because I've got guests lined up, and I interviewed Jodie
Oh,
Krangle
I love Jody.
yesterday. Yeah, she's great. And I interviewed her yesterday. But so what I might do is do one more season of Just Saying, while I'm working on the specifics of an adoption type of themed podcast.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. If you don't feel, because either way, getting in extra reps doesn't hurt, right? So, getting
Right.
extra opportunities to do it, and if you have the bandwidth to do it, I don't think it's a terrible idea. But I think once you start the adoption thing, I think you're gonna find real quick that like that's where you're gonna end up spending a lot of your time because you're gonna get a lot of traffic out of that. And like I said, I want to hook you.
Mhm.
Obviously, Reverend Ken Blanchard wants to have you on his show to help you gain more. So get that. You got to get that title and site up and running, and get your artwork together and all that. But I'm excited. What's the name of your book, by the way?
How I Met My Mother and the Four Brothers I Never Knew I Had. Long title, but it's it's pretty fantastic. One of the things that happened in this whole scheme of things was I and my brothers crossed paths like 6 or 7 times. And here's an example. I was working in New Rochelle, New York, at a laboratory, right? And at lunchtime on that street, all the factories would all go to lunch at the same time. Whistle blows, everybody filters out into the street. I found out that my birth father worked right across the street at Neptune Movers, same time that I was working there. So we must have filtered out onto the street at the same time. That that's one. The other one is when I met my birth mother at her apartment. I'm walking around her apartment. I look out the window and I see this baseball field. When I was at the New Rochelle business I was working at, White Cross Labs, they had an industrial softball team that I played on. We played on that field. And my birth mother lived in the fourth floor of the apartment that sat in left field of that field. So, so there were so many instances where our paths crossed, but it just wasn't the right time.
Yeah,
I'm a firm believer that God decided I got to wait until timing is right, and then you guys meet each other, and it's going to be good,
yeah, yeah.
as opposed to it might not have been so good if we met earlier.
Did you watch Identical
So
Strangers? Yeah,
yes,
it was the three
yeah,
identical strangers or identical strangers?
three brothers,
Yeah, it was
right?
about the three brothers. Yeah, that was
Yeah, a little bit of sad story, but
yeah.
amazing,
Yeah,
just amazing.
incredible
Yeah.
story. Yeah, I definitely recommend you check that out if you haven't watched that. But yeah. Anyway, what else? What can I do for you in the time remaining?
I think that's my big thing is whether I bite the bullet on all of those followers that I built up over 5 years and kind of clean the slate, or is there a way to transfer them over? And I think that the answer is
Let them
I
know.
got to kind of bite the bullet, let them know, and maybe I'll jumpstart it a little bit better than if I just started from scratch. Get a few to come over, but that's really other than that, equipment wise. I was having trouble initially, trying to get this thing to work and everything, and thinking about, lighting was I'm not happy with using the camera from this laptop because I've got some really serious cameras, good
Hmm.
stuff, and I can't seem to. The laptop doesn't recognize for whatever reason. It's not recognizing the camera. In the drop down, the only drop down is for the Lenovo laptop, and that's it. So that's driving me a little nuts.
What do you
Uh,
know what camera model you got?
I got an NX3, a Sony NX3, and
NX3.
uh, and I got a JVC 4K. I don't know what the model number is.
Hmm. So let's share that. It's a
Yeah,
beefy looking camera there.
yeah. It's it's great. It's served me well. It shoots really well. Takes a great picture. Um, Better than an iPhone camera, a laptop camera could do.
Yeah.
But so I've tried to figure out ways. I've got an HDMI input here, HDMI output there. I set the settings. I did everything I was supposed to do. I researched. I went into an NX3 community on Facebook and asked them. Nobody seems to know the answer.
Do you So I
So
mean this has HDMI out, right? I assume. Yeah.
yes,
So
yes,
so
it
do
does.
you have an HDMI in capture card? You do.
Yes,
Which one do you
yes,
have?
because oh, I don't know. I don't know that.
So, I
Um,
mean, the easiest to use ones are from Elgato. So like the Elgato Camlink 4K. Um, it runs $100 normally, but it's been a little hard to find thanks to COVID. Um, and basically, what you would do is you just go right HDMI out right into the little adapter. See this adapter right here, and
yep.
then that'll show up as a webcam option. The thing is I don't know if that NX3 has a clean HDMI out. Do you know if it probably
Oh, it
does because
does.
you probably could go
Oh,
to a
it does.
recorder. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yep.
So, yeah. So that.
Because I've never hooked it up to, like, when I was doing productions on location
Hmm.
productions, we would hook it HDMI to HDMI input on a monitor,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it worked beautifully.
Right.
But I never tried to do it into the laptop. So
Yeah, so you need something like this. There's other capture cards that you can get. Some of them are like $20. They're not bad, not great, but like if you want like the best of the best, like it's $100, and it'll allow you to
yeah,
plug in any camera straight into your computer and use it. I mean, you can see like here's the difference from my man Frank P. I actually watch his stuff on YouTube.
uh,
The webcam versus the DSLR, right? It's like night and day. And I mean, even this is
oh yeah,
so I'm not using that currently. I have one, but I'm not using it because the camera that I'm using doesn't have a clean HDMI output unless you do manual focus, which I did not want to use because sometimes I move around a little bit, and I wanted to
right,
to
sure,
be able to
yeah.
focus and stuff. Um, yeah, so it's
So that works as the interface. It converts it so that the laptop will
yep.
recognize it as another input.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yep,
all right,
it'll do
okay,
exactly what you're
good.
looking for. So then all you have to do is just like this guy had it there, is throw it on a tripod, behind your computer, or use
Yeah,
like an arm. Like I use an arm attached to. I have like a monitor arm base mount, so I have it attached to that, and then sits up on top just above the monitor. So when I look like right here, it looks like I'm looking like pretty much right at the
yes,
camera. Though I actually have it kind of angled down a little bit, so even if I just look straight forward, it's still not so disconnected. It looks like I'm just looking straight forward through the monitor.
yeah, right.
But yeah, it's great. Like I said, I at some point when I get a newer camera that has clean HDMI out, I will probably switch to that because it'll be a higher res than this, which is
Mm,
not even. I think this is like barely 720p. But it's
yeah,
but it's USB, so it's like literally one USB cord and a small piece of software that makes it recognized as a webcam plugged in.
mm,
So that's something they added
yeah,
because of COVID. They would have never had this. I still wouldn't be using this if COVID didn't hit, because they wouldn't have had created the software from Canon to do this.
yep.
Actually, no, there's a software to do it. It's called Sparko Cam or something, but I wouldn't have paid $60 for it, honestly.
Oh,
But now this
yeah,
is free, and it works pretty
Oh,
darn well. So you know, even though I bought a Cam Link because it was available at the time, um,
right.
you know, I won't be using it anytime soon unless I get a new
Yeah.
camera at some point.
I'll I'll look at that. Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
that
That, that's
that'll
really
fix your
yeah.
problem though. Like you just pop that baby in there, install the software off of Elgato's website, and you just got yourself a way better looking webcam. Actually, I mean the cam that
Right.
you have isn't bad. It's you know, obviously it's a little soft, but it'll be a
Yeah.
lot better when you hook up that
Yeah.
camera.
Because when I bring it into editing, I gotta use a sharpening filter to crisp it up a little
Yeah.
bit. Get it a little tighter because it is soft. Yeah. So,
Yeah, you
but
know,
you know,
it's all good luck. Content is king, right? So that's what people are looking for. Not
that's
the
true. Yeah.
having a little soft, having the audio sound not like the 110% out of NPR studios is not going to make a difference
Right.
as long as the audio is not hurting my ears and the
Well,
content carries it.
one of the adages that I always had, and I always told everybody in our group, was we're in the business of video, but audio drives the
Oh
bus.
yeah,
Because you can have great video and bad audio, and it just won't work.
yep,
People won't watch it. But if you have not so good video but great audio, people will hang with it.
yep.
And that's a rule of thumb. Audio is the most important thing.
Audio absolutely is king. It's super
Yeah.
important for people to hear to get the right
Yep.
messaging and stuff. So I couldn't agree more. I always say like, look, you got like in well, where you're in Philly now, right? We have like 4 sports talk radio stations that were all, one's owned by CBS, $30 billion company relying on people to pick up their cell phone and call into the radio station to give their
That's right.
opinions. Those cell
Oh,
phones,
I think that's what you.
yeah, never sounds great, but it's
Right.
good enough to get through to get the message across. And as long as it's again not hurting your voice, hurting your ears, it's good
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah. Right.
So anything
Yeah.
above that is kind of expected as you get bigger, but it's whatever. You do what you got to do. Get the content is king. Get that matters the most right out of the gate.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Charlie,
Good.
thank you so much for taking the time today.
No, thank you. This was awesome. I'm really looking forward to talking with you. We've messaged each other, and I've popped in on some of these with messages, but we've never actually been face to face.
Yeah.
So I just want to let you know I appreciate you to the nth degree what you're doing and what you provide to the community. I'm sure everybody else does as well. What a great service you're providing. You really
Well,
are.
thank you. I really really appreciate that. And this is just the beginning. I got a bunch of ideas of how I can, amp that up going forward. Now that I'm going to get out of my own way and stop trying to split my attention. So we're gonna
Right.
hopefully the community can help me stay on track with that. I appreciate it. And comments like that mean the world to me, Charlie. Thank you so much.
Yeah. I'll see you in a couple of weeks at the
Yes. I'm
conference.
looking forward to it. We'll be face to face then as well. I mean, not face to face
Yeah,
literally.
right.
I
Yeah.
wanted to do the
I'm
backyard thing,
giving
but
I'm giving up a wiffle ball tournament up in New York for that. So
oh, you
just so you
serious?
know, just so you know.
Wow, wow. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I love wiffle ball, man. We play it in the backyard all the time. I can't wait till my kids get old enough that we can play wiffle ball in the backyard.
Yeah. Well, this is just like a bunch of us guys from high school
Hmm.
uh, taking over, the playground, and once a year they get together and have this big wiffle ball tournament. So
Ah, that's awesome.
it's just fun to get together and exchange ideas and talk about the old times and all that stuff. How good we used to be. So yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Anyway, so I'm looking forward to the conference. That's really going to be awesome.
Yeah, and for anybody who doesn't know, September 12th and 13th, Indie PodCon number 6. It will be virtual. Speakers all day long. We got workshops. We got we'll be sharing lunches together. We have the after party where we'll be chatting and talking. We have trivia questions based in the 80s because this is an 80s themed event that you will want to make sure you break out your 80s attire and accessories for. I'm looking forward to it. I wanted to spice it up, right? Like I know everybody keeps saying, if I had to do
Yeah.
another Zoom call, I'm going to go out of my mind. Well, I wanted to make something that was like, hey, we're going to have fun with it. It's going to be a good time. You'll get to learn a lot about podcasting and taking your podcast to the next level. If you haven't seen the the schedule is all up now, so you can go and peer through all of that. I mean, it's jam packed with incredible amount of speakers over 2 days. It's gonna be so much fun. It really
Who did your graphics?
So, who did my graphic? Readily Random Graphics. Go to readilyrandom.com. Icon
What a
Larry
great job.
is incredible. He did all the graphics.
Yeah.
He did the T-shirt. If you haven't seen, the T-shirts and the other accessories are available. You can get a fanny pack because this is the 80s, right? So, so we have a unisex shirt. We have a female shirt. We have phone cases. We have stickers. I got more stickers I'll be giving away if you answer the questions, trivia questions right. And we have more coming to this store as well. So if you go to youricongear.com, you can pick up your limited edition shirt before the conference gets here. I just placed my order yesterday, actually. So the unisex shirt comes in 3 colors: blue, pink, and black. On the sleeve, you have IndiePodCon Virtual. So I might still offer this shirt after the fact, but the IndiePodCon Virtual badge on the shoulder, on the sleeve, will not be there after this. So this is a limited run of this shirt, because I mean the logo is awesome. So I'm probably going to keep offering it after the fact, but you just won't have the extra badge of honor on the side. I mean, most of our shirts, with the exception of this shirt, usually have the Icon or the MapCon branding on the sleeve. So I'm looking forward to that, and they're super
the inner circle branding.
Yeah.
I'm in the club.
Yes, exactly. Well, it's such an honor to have people wear my shirts like literally 4 years after they've after the fact. So
I'm sure.
And I attribute a lot of that to not being a big billboard for the event itself. It's the sleeve is enough to. This shirt doesn't have it, which was kind of a shame, but because it would have been the last one that had the MapCon branding, though that's where we announced the changeover to Independent Podcast Conference. So, it's whatever. It's not a big deal. But on this one, we have the IndiePodCon virtual tag that for this 80s event. So yeah, go to youricongear.com. And if you've enjoyed this episode of the IndiePod Daily Show, please feel free to share it with the podcaster or entrepreneur or creative in your life. And I will see you all tomorrow for Free Ride Friday, where we'll be giving away a free ride into the IndiePod University. And if you haven't heard, that's where you can learn to launch, grow, and monetize your podcast with its community, resource, 150 plus hours of resource videos, and so much more. Weekly calls, group calls, and more. So anyway, I will see you all tomorrow for Free Ride Friday. I hope you all have a great rest of your Thursday. I hope that the people down south are staying safe. I know that the destruction has not been great, but some of the videos I saw have seen a lot of people driving around, so I haven't had much time to look into what's going on down there, but I hope as many people are staying safe as possible. And you remember, you are a podcaster, so you are a leader, and always lead with love. Take care.